To me, it's like a lot of miniature little puzzles, trying to figure out what's going on, what you want to do. And I like doing even crossword puzzles and stuff. I like to figure things out. And in chess, I like to figure out what you're doing, answer to it. And it's just the mental aspect of it, really. Well, I'm Brian Luoma. I live in Niles, Ohio. I've been a club chess player since the mid-90s, playing tournaments in local clubs. I just played off and on as a kid, as probably a lot of kids did. And then when I moved to Niles in the mid-90s, I saw an ad in the paper for a chess club. And I thought, that's something I'd like to try. And so I went to the chess clubs, and I got kicked around pretty hard. Those guys were pretty good, and I just kind of learned and started playing in chess tournaments. And like I say, I ended up having to put a hiatus on my chess in about 2000 when the economy fell out, and I had to go on the road. And when the economy picked up, about 2010, I got back into playing in the clubs and back on the tournament scenes as well. Back in the 90s, I played in the Ohio Open. I ended up with a tied for first in that, and I won about $120 or something. And a lower division, not up with the Masters. They rate you by points, and then you play within your division. I win occasionally, but most of the time I just kind of contribute, really. I don't pull as much money out of them as I'd like to. If I'm playing against another person, I'd rather use a regular board, but that one that plays on the internet, I can play people from around the world, and their pieces move in live time, and it's just something that when we play, it draws attention. We go to the coffee shops, and people will come up and stand right over the board and watch and ask, because it is such an interesting thing to see work and move, and it's very fun to play. You get rating points, which really don't add up to anything, but it lets you play people within your skill level, so you're not playing people that are too low or too high, and you can play a more competitive game. And my favorite chess player, if I could play somebody from the past, was actually Humphrey Bogart, who was almost a scratch. He used to earn money playing chess before he was famous. And I'm a Humphrey Bogart fan as an actor, and just the fact that he was just such an excellent chess player, I would have loved to have played him. If I could have played anybody in history, that's who I'd have played. Back when I was in junior high, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an electrician, mostly just doing residential. I actually tried to get into the union many times, and I couldn't do it. I ended up starting off in the non-union, and I organized across. I've been 30 years as an electrician, 23 in the hall, and I did 7 non-union when I could finally organize across. When I first started getting interested in electrical, it was the circuitry that got me, like how a 3-way switch works or a 4-way switch, because like as a kid, and I didn't know, you'd turn a switch on here at the other end of the hall, they both controlled the same light, and it was that kind of thing that got me interested in wanting to learn how to do it. And that's kind of why I wanted to do it and pursued it, and ended up where I am today, really. I can drive in so many areas, and just as I get to an area, I remember I worked in this area, or I worked in that area. And I got to work in the nuke down there in Beaver and in Shippingport. And inside of a nuke was kind of, that's just awe-inspiring. It is so neat, it's beyond words. One of the greatest things is that you're not stuck working in the same place every day for 40 years. It's just you work for a month here, a month there, maybe 6 months there, spend a year on a job, but you're constantly moving and you're different types of electrical. That's kind of what I enjoyed about it.